and welcome to this week's Three Legs, Four Wheels F1 podcast. It's Paul here with...
Sean.
Chris.
And Lee.
I thought you were lagging then. Don't turn into Chris on us.
Dramatic pause.
We don't need two of Chris's internet on this show.
I'll try not to. I don't think I've got anything uploading or downloading.
No, me neither.
And there's another silence. that one was me. That was deliberate. For regular listeners, sorry we're a couple of days late this week, but this bloody real life thing keeps getting in the way.
It
happens.
Yeah. Increase your Patreon donations. We all want to go full time. Only joking slightly. But to all the patrons, thank you for your donations. For this month, you are definitely keeping us going. For anyone that isn't a patron, we'll get this in early. If you go to patreon.com/3legs4wheels, you can donate as little as $1, £1 or €1 a month, and it basically keeps us in things like web hosting, software, cables, microphone replacements, and of course, biscuits.
All the important things.
The important things, and cat treats. Because what is a podcast without a podcat?
Indeed.
Right, this week, quiet one in the world of F1 this week. We've just got the Baku Grand Prix coming up in a few days' time. I think it's called the Baku Grand Prix now, isn't it? It's not the Azerbaijan or the European Grand Prix.
I thought it was still Azerbaijan.
There's lots of people in. I think the hashtag is Baku GP because it's easier to spell. But lots of people are calling it "Well Done Baku."
Oh no, it still is the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Well done, Baku, in the land of fire, so it's going to be completely overcooked.
Yeah. Well, do you remember the first year everything was well done Baku because they managed to put a race on and put those weird cloths in front of the buildings to make them look a lot cleaner.
That was strange.
Yeah, that was weird. And of course, we all remember the first European Grand Prix as being not the most exciting. The F2 that weekend was better.
It promised so much, didn't it, the F2, and then we got to the actual race and it was just a bit of a procession. But since then, it's been all right.
Really good. I would say it's been really good since that first one.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, qualifying's usually tricky. We've seen all sorts of shenanigans going on. Charles Leclerc hitting the wall on the entrance to that tight castle section.
So stupid.
I'm an idiot. Jolyon Palmer bursting into flames on one of his many bursting into flames occasions. Because that car seemed pretty flammable that year. And, of course, the most famous Baku incident was Red Bull taking each other out.
Was it? Was it not the brake testing?
Yeah, or Kimi Räikkönen without a steering wheel.
The lack of steering wheel.
No,
the Hamilton headrest drama.
There's been a lot of good moments around there.
There's Ericsson putting Grosjean in the wall.
Or not. Alonso
Bottas overtaking Stroll on that last bit of straight.
Bottas puncture.
Mm-hmm.
Alonso making it round nearly a full lap under a safety car on three wheels.
No, it was two.
Mm-hmm.
Was it two?
Yeah, he had two. We had two left punctures.
Is that when he got Sirotkined?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there's tablets for that these days. So, all being well, we should be in for an interesting race.
I hope so.
A good Baku is generally a race of the year contender. I think
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, we're going into it with the teams in a bit of a who's on top. And, of course, we've got all the controversy over the flexible rear wings. Please stop sending us pictures of front wings flexing. That's what they do. But, yeah, with Red Bull and Ferrari having the flexible, or more flexible than should be allowed, but is actually allowed, but only until France, rear wings. Is that about right?
Well, yeah, we're expecting a protest, aren't we?
Yeah, I think Mercedes have said they're going to put a protest in if they see anything they don't like, which...
they're going to, because it's Baku.
Yeah, to which a friend of mine pointed out, Mercedes are great at getting away with loopholes, but they'll protest against any other team that finds one that they don't.
Isn't that exactly how all protests happen? It's just people being pissed off that they didn't think of it first.
Yep, pretty much.
Although the Haas floor thing, nobody understood what that was.
Reasons.
No, radiuses. So yeah, we've got teams going into it with a possible advantage because that rear wing is going to be quite important on the straight. Because I mean, it's 1.2 kilometers long.
It is a long straight, isn't it? Yeah.
It might be enough to help with the deficit. Because let's face it, there still will be a top end deficit between the Honda and Mercedes, won't there?
Oh yeah, definitely. 'Cause I mean, Mercedes has definitely got the fastest engine in a straight line.
Yeah, but over the whole circuit, it is expected that the braking, turning, and getting out of the corners is going to be beneficial for Red Bull.
It should be interesting. I'm not because we've got to think about where we were before Monaco, because Monaco is such an outlier, and I'm not convinced we're not going to go back to another circuit where Mercedes are ahead again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a weird circuit. There are bits of it that plays into Red Bull's hands, especially all the tight bits sort of from the couple of turns before the castle up to that last left-hander before you absolutely gun it. But the rest of it is those first two straights. It's pure Mercedes territory.
Yeah. I suppose the thing to think about is like Mercedes struggled, didn't it, with slow speed corners because Monaco is slow speed corners. So maybe I'm fucking destroying my own argument as to why Mercedes will be quicker. But yeah, maybe they'll struggle again. It'd be awful fucking interesting, wouldn't it, if Mercedes have like another Monaco race under their belts?
It could be. I would be surprised if it's not quite a mixed up grid again, like we saw in Monaco.
Team radio is going to be interesting if Hamilton has another bad one. Just wonder if he's been taken to one side and quietly told, easy on the team, mate.
Absolutely not.
Do you think he'd listen even if he was?
I don't think Mercedes can say that to him because he's. I mean, I'm not that he's irreplaceable, because I think he is replaceable with Max Verstappen, for instance. But I'd argue George Russell, but we don't really know, do we? But he's certainly replaceable with Max Verstappen.
Well, according to an interview with George Russell that I think is in this week's GP Racing magazine, because they're not allowed to call it F1 Racing anymore, George wants his 2022 future decided by the summer break this year, whether it's in Williams or Mercedes or somewhere else.
I saw that as well. He has to leave Mercedes. He has to leave Williams. There's no, if he can't get himself into a Mercedes, he has to be knocking on the door of another team. Any team, literally any team but Williams or Haas.
Ferrari.
Yeah, Ferrari might be difficult to get into.
Red Bull are going to have a seat. Red Bull could have a seat next year if they decide not to keep Perez on. But is that going to do is that going to do worse for his career?
Risky,
not
isn't
if it beats Max Verstappen.
Helmut Marko has been making very generically non-committal noises about Perez.
Let's not forget that both Carlos Sainz I know this was before the car was kind of built towards Max, but both Carlos Sainz and Daniel Ricciardo gave Max a good run. I don't think he's completely invulnerable. In the way I don't think Lewis Hamilton's invulnerable. I just think he's got, he's had no challenges, has he? He's certainly had no challenges from within since Rosberg. So I think there's every chance that a driver that's good enough going into Red Bull can still perform well in there. I just don't think they've, as far as the young drivers go, they haven't really had the robot they've been looking for.
And it's definitely not turning out to be Tsunoda at the minute, who has been made to move to Italy, so he's closer to the team.
He's been kidnapped or
Yeah,
Similar.
Tsunoda's taken over from Williams.
Yeah, Marco.
Things to help prove me right.
Yeah, Marco has put him in a trunk and sent him to Fiorano.
Not COVID camp.
Not COVID camp.
Not Fiorano. That's where Ferrari.
Sorry,
Firenze.
Firenze. But yeah, they made him move near the team, so Franz Tost is able to keep an eye on him at all times.
French toast.
And apparently, according to the same interview, sending him go-karting for practice.
Right, well, that sounds not intimidating at all.
I mean, if Red Bull came up to you and said, "Here, sit in our branded go-kart," you'd check to see where the detonators are.
Where was he based?
Oxford.
Ah, okay.
So within reach of sort of Red Bull HQ in Milton Keynes. Because I think Toro Rosso have got an office just next to the.
I think they've got a half-size wind tunnel in an industrial unit somewhere or other.
But yeah, he was in the sort of automotive area of England. But yeah, they've sent him to Italy to refocus. Albon back in that seat by Belgium.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think Tsunoda will get the year because Honda.
If Albon comes back into Formula One, it's not through Red Bull.
I don't know. He could do a Kvyat.
Maybe.
I mean, I've still not given up on the thought of seeing Kvyat in a AlphaTauri again one day.
No, Alpine own him now.
Yeah,
Ferrari owned him the last time.
That's true.
Yeah, I can't see Kvyat ending up back in Formula One. Not in a drive. I'd like to see Albon back. You know, it's just in a different situation. It would be good to see what he can actually do. But yeah, because we saw he was mixing it with both Russell and Lando, wasn't he, in GP2?
F2, yeah.
So yeah, F2. It just seems it's the toughest car on the grid, isn't it? Getting to be Max Verstappen's teammate.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He looked the business when he was in, I think it was still Toro Rosso at the time. And then, yeah, just constantly being compared to Max just didn't do any favours.
Yeah, there's a point, but it's F2. F2 is the support races this weekend again.
Ah, excellent. That should be fun.
Just quickly, before we move on away from who could be possibly Max Verstappen's teammate, this is the best year to become Max Verstappen's teammate for next year. Because with the rule changes, it's okay building a car around Max, but how do you build a car completely around Max if you don't know what they want from that formula?
This is true. Because presumably
there is no better time.
There is not. So presumably the 2014 Red Bull would have been built entirely around Vettel, yet suited Ricciardo better. Because new rules. You are talking sense.
Christ.
Always do. Sometimes it's veiled in nonsense and bullshit. But if you dig deep enough, there is meat.
Just looking at the last Baku F2 race. Jack Aitken and Nicholas Latifi were the winners.
No, I think the winners were the internet for the what's its face, Raghunathan 3-point turn, many-point turn.
Our Lord and Saviour Mahiva.
Yes.
Yeah, which came up on Twitter the other day, which I instantly shared with our chat group.
Yeah, one of his many memorable moments.
It's just a shame we won't get to see Raghunathan this year, but of course there is always the option of Daleda doing the same.
There's a few options in F2, to be honest.
But yeah, it's just interesting that the last two winners of the Baku races ended up driving a Williams.
They did indeed.
Yeah, poison chalice.
Look what you could win.
Do we want to throw in some predictions now for the weekend?
Ooh.
That's a bit spicy, straight
Yes.
off the hook.
It's a bit quick, isn't it?
I feel ill prepared for this.
Hey, we're not messing tonight. We're
right,
not messing
I will
tonight.
go. I will go. I'm going to go Verstappen win,
Right.
Hamilton second,
Yeah.
Perez third, because Perez is always third in Baku.
That's true.
First podium for Perez. First podium for Perez in Red Bull.
Correct.
They were your exact same predictions for Monaco.
There's a chance one race this year that will be how it goes down. I was only 2 wrong.
Are you going to go next, Lee?
Yeah, I'm going to go almost the same as Sean. I'm going to go for a Verstappen win. No, I'm not. Sorry, I'm going to go Lewis win, Verstappen second, and Lando third.
It's not in any way the same as me.
So
No, not at all.
Completely and utterly different.
Yep.
Chris, you got yours?
Lando Norris for the win, Sergio Perez second, and
Now you're talking my language, Fludrick.
yeah, and Valtteri Bottas third.
In Baku, that is entirely plausible.
It's feasible. I'm gonna go Hamilton win. I think Verstappen second, and let's throw a wild card in and go for Sainz third.
Yeah, Ferrari. We can't really forget Ferrari. They are starting to come strong again, aren't they? So
I kind of think that was just they happened to have a car that was good in.
Yeah, the straight line could be a
Monaco.
drama for Ferrari.
Yeah.
possibly might be. We'll see. But the
I mean, they've got the flexi wing as well, so that might
No.
actually give them something.
Leclerc's doing pretty well normally at putting that car that places it shouldn't be. I'm not just talking Monaco.
Yeah, he's put the car place it shouldn't be in Baku in the past as well.
Yes, he has. Yeah.
That was only during qualifying, though, and he did admit to his stupidity. What about a surprise Aston Martin doing well? Because Stroll's got form.
Yeah.
He's got a
Stroll
podium
had
here.
luck. Yeah, Stroll had luck.
If
He's all right at Baku usually, though. Not just that.
He doesn't have to think too much, does he?
It was also a stronger Williams than what he currently has at the moment, I would say.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no doubt the car was better because it was an occasional point scorer.
But yeah, it's one of those circuits that suits Lance Stroll, point and squirt.
And Vettel looked handy in Monaco. Dared to actually go wheel to wheel, which not many people seem to manage.
No.
I hope that's Vettel on top of
Lance.
Lance now. I hope that was the beginning, that was the turning point he needed to get his head under that car. And to at least, even if he's not performing to his best, to get ahead of the rich Hulk wannabe.
You can't really say the rich Hulk wannabe. He's podiumed.
It's true.
No, I didn't mean Hulkenberg. I meant the Hulk.
Do you think he has a Hulk vibe?
Yeah, Lou Ferrigno,
I've seen his
definitely.
eyebrows.
Ah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have
Don't make Stroll
not
angry.
picked up on this.
His skin will
Instead of
turn
don't make
green
me-
if you make him angry.
Yeah. And instead of saying "don't make me angry," you'll say "don't make me buy you."
I think the eyebrows are more Gallagher brother.
No, they're not. They're
No,
not
they're
close
too
enough in the
tidy, I
middle to be
think.
Gallagher.
Too tidy to be
Yeah.
Gallagher.
Just quickly, nothing to do with Formula One, everything to do with Gallagher's. Did you see Noel Gallagher put a tweet out the other day where he had like a little signpost saying, "Ask me anything about the last 10 years," like a Q&A session, to which Liam Gallagher replied, "Why are you such a massive cunt?"
Excellent.
It's good to know there's still a close family there. we did see him on the on the touchline at the Champions League final, being presented with something for his birthday. That was a bit surreal.
What was? I can't remember what it was now. It was something very random.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but he didn't know what to make of it either.
Well, you're not there for that, are you? That's the problem.
I was in a nightclub with Noel Gallagher once.
I once stood on his foot in Belfast Airport, in the Belfast Airport bar.
Surprised you got any teeth left.
He is short.
What?
Noel Gallagher.
Noel Gallagher, yeah. Both of them aren't. They're not that tall. Noel or Liam.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not. I've seen plenty of short people headbutt people.
As long as you've got a can-do attitude, you'll be fine.
No, I stood on his foot and turned around and said, "Sorry, mate, I didn't see you there." Got back to my seat and thought, "Oh shit, why aren't I dead?" Yeah, I'm amazed I got on that flight with my face intact. Right, where were we? I think that's sort of Baku previewed. We'll be online, certainly on Discord during the race and during qualifying. If you want to get your own predictions in, go to the website, threelegsfourwheels.com, and the prediction leagues in the game section. Predict the top 3, pole, fastest lap, number of DNFs or DNSs, and will there be a safety car?
I'm going to go with yes.
Which everyone said yes for Monaco, and there wasn't.
That's how dull Monaco was. No one could be asked crashing.
Not even Nikita Mazepin.
No, not even a casual breakdown or anything like that. There was just no event.
So this should make up for the snooze fest that we suffered 2 weeks ago.
Let's hope so. We've also got France to come as well, so...
Yeah, come on, Baku, you have some heavy lifting to do here.
Yeah, because France is the one after, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to carry us for a little while, I think, this.
Yeah, Baku, France, double Austria in a triple header.
Austria can have its moments.
Just not two of them.
I was going to say, the first one will be good. The second one will just be extra time in the first one.
Yeah. See, I don't mind Austria because it's so fast. Yeah. Even it being quite a short circuit makes it quite interesting as well, but 2 races I'm not particularly fond of.
But one thing we'll get to see this year is the Dutch Grand Prix, finally. And so what is it, 125,000
I think it's 105,000. So if I remember correctly, last year they were quite quick to drop out because they were absolutely adamant that they weren't doing it without a crowd. And it would appear that this year things are looking good.
That's pretty much a full attendance then, surely?
I think so, pretty much, yeah. Which is good to see.
100,000, that's a lot of people. Good
105,000 people, 104,990 Max Verstappen fans.
What are the other 10 up to?
Probably just Kimi Räikkönen, probably.
Oh, probably, that's fair. That is fair.
I was going to say Yoss's Minders. Minding people from Yoss.
Did I ever tell you the story about the Australian guys who came to stay with us at TT once? And they went to the Italian MotoGP just before they came to the island for TT. They got a train, and they were on the way to the circuit. I think it was Mugello, and they got off the train, and they were like they said they literally got off the train, and it was like a sea of yellow, like all Rossi fans. Everyone was wearing bright yellow. They felt well left out, and they spotted a girl who just had like a blue shirt on. They were like, "Oh, hey, she doesn't look like she's a Rossi fan. Let's kind of walk near her." And then she stopped, opened her bag, and got out a Rossi hoodie and put it on. They were the only 2 people on the train, like not full diehard Rossi fans.
I couldn't believe that when I went to Belgium in was it 98, 98, wasn't it? Damon Hill one, yeah. That we were sat on the stand at Rivage, and when we got onto it, was just like in the old Schumacher days. So the stand was just a sea of red, apart from like 5 of us that were wearing yellow t-shirts. And like of all the chances for the random seating positions, 5 Oxford students that were sat behind us, all also in yellow. So there was just like this little nucleus of yellow in amongst this stand of red. It was great.
From far enough away, you'd have looked like a giant zit.
Well, that was the thing. We were so noticeable that because every time Hill went past, we got up and cheered. Under the safety car, he waved to us on a lap.
Yes.
Nice.
Good man.
It's like, there's the Jordan stand, all 10 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dutch Grand Prix is going to it's going to look like Belgium or Austria this year.
Yeah, definitely. I would have thought.
Or that orange, it could be Essex.
No, I was going to say it's going to be so orange. It's going to be so much more orange than Austria or Belgium usually is. I do wonder why so many Max fans travel to Austria.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that it's particularly convenient or what
It
the
isn't,
deal
I wouldn't
is.
have thought.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. No, not easier than, say, Spa.
No, exactly.
Well, they all go to Spa as well, though. That's the thing.
And I think
Probably easier to get to Silverstone.
yeah, and on traditional
Maybe it's a culture thing.
Maybe, yeah. In non-COVID times as well, Austria traditionally clashed with Assen in MotoGP. So it's like, why are you all abandoning ship now when there's actual event in your country?
They prefer Max
point.
to MotoGP.
Maybe.
That and the fact that Red Bull and Heineken do buy that stand and pay for the Dutch campsite as well in Austria.
Yeah, it could be a good deal for them. In fairness, it might just be a cheap ticket.
How isn't that a thing? Where you have sponsored stands by drinks companies, and if you buy tickets for said stand, you just get said drink wrapped into your ticket.
I do remember one of our Dutch listeners sending us something the other year where if you bought tickets for the Max stand in Austria, you got some exclusive Red Bull merch and some Heineken 00.
That's not what people want.
Apparently, if you
drink responsibly.
Apparently, if you get tickets for the Charles Leclerc stand in Italy, you just get lots of tissues to wipe your tears away.
Surely that would be better at Monaco.
No, if you're in the Charles Leclerc stand in
race.
Monaco, you might get crashed into.
No, if you're in the Charles Leclerc stand in Monaco,
balcony.
you're leaning out of his house.
Yes. Yeah, that's his mum's balcony.
Have we got anything else news-wise? Because it's a very short, sparse show tonight.
Yeah,
Well, let me look at the
think
tweets
so.
because there is a little bit of kind of news, but I don't know how reputable it is. Should have done this pre-pod, but
Eddie Jordan moves to McLaren.
good lord.
Reuters appear to be reporting it.
But yeah, I think most of the news I've seen over the last week or so is various people saying that they're not doing contract talks until after the summer break. So the news is there's no news.
Andy Cowell, possibly.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, that is possibly a thing. You got this one, didn't you, Chris?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of people reporting it, but it doesn't. There's no like major places saying it. It's just, how much do we trust Planet F1?
Hit and miss.
They're reporting it. Motorsport Weekly.
Again, fairly legit.
So they're all saying that he's leading an accident. Well, not leading, but he's going to head up the 50 as it is now. Mercedes staff who are leaving to go to Red Bull powertrains. Of course, Andy Cowell's been the brains behind that power unit since 2014, and he left last year, I believe, the end of last year.
So if he left at the end of last year, he could potentially still be under some kind of severance deal or some kind of you cannot work for another team within 6 months kind of arrangement.
Possibly, but it is June, so if it's 6 months from the end of 2020, that would be now.
But if powertrains aren't starting up till next year, if it's a year, then again it wouldn't be a thing. Christian Horner has officially denied it as of 2 weeks ago, which does suggest it is true.
Right, so you heard it here first that it's definitely not happening, so it's happening.
Yeah, it's being reported by various languages. If you just scroll through Twitter with a search Andy Cowell Red Bull. But again, it's not like, and I don't mean this in a rude way, but there's not like a, actual official F1 announcement or a BBC or, something that you might go, well, that's reputable, so it's probably not a lie.
Yeah, glorified blog site, isn't it?
I want to say Planet F1's actually run by Sky.
Well, the F1 social media.
It used to be run by MSN, didn't it? It used to be like Planet F1 MSN, but I've no idea what does it now.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain they're owned by something.
If they are owned by Sky, it would make sense why it's complete and utter bullshit most of the time.
Let's have a look. They are part of Planet Sport, so they're not anymore.
Planet Sport, that sounds like a legitimate news agency.
I have not heard of this.
Oh, God. Team Talk. Remember, I don't know if you remember back in...
Is now really the time, Paul?
I don't know if you remember in the 90s, there used to be premium rate phone lines you could ring for news on your football club. That was a thing that Team Talk ran.
Oh, yeah. I remember
those fucking things.
Yeah, that is the people who are behind Planet F1.
Now, I thought
brilliant.
The likes of Football 365 that they're listing as a sister site here, I thought they were affiliated with Sky in some backdoor capacity.
Now, let's not get down with the sexual preferences of Sky Formula One.
I do know they are based in Leeds,
where Sky has a big
office. Sky Sports Radio's based there, isn't it?
It is. They've got a lot of their digital stuff there as well.
Yeah, they are based on Vicar Lane in Leeds.
Which you must know. I have no idea where that is.
The same street that the Duchess of York used to be on. If you ever went there.
Okay. Yeah, I did actually. Yeah.
Yeah, don't. In the words of Marty DeBerg, don't look for it. It's not there anymore. I think it's a branch of FC UK now or something.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, it's a clothes shop of some description.
Oh no!
Yeah, one of the best gig venues ever. Bands that played there: Nirvana, Muse used to play there quite a lot.
It used to be like a tour stop, didn't it?
Yeah, it was on the club tour. I even got to play there once.
That's cool.
We were terrible. We never got asked back.
Yeah, there was going off on a bit of a tangent here, but Duchess of York, and then there was the Bradford Rios.
Yeah. They were the two big sort of live venue club size gigs in West Yorkshire in those days.
Yeah, Rios was painted black, so it was very confusing. Yeah,
for a name like Rios, it wasn't very tropical or Rio-like or carnival atmosphered.
No, it was painted black entirely. Anyway, Formula One.
Anyway, we digress. Formula One. One thing that I've just found is apparently Ross Brawn is looking at ways that the Indy 500 won't clash with an F1 race anymore to make it more possible for F1 drivers to take part. Unfortunately, people are pointing out it's not that easy as just turning up on the day, and qualifying's the week before, and practice goes on for about 6 weeks before.
You need like a month.
And if you're a rookie, you've got to start practicing in March.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not like a straightforward, let's qualifying on the Saturday and race on Sunday. No,
there's. What was it? When Alonso did it in his first year, I think the rookie test was something like 4 weeks before it.
It's April usually, I think.
So I can't see that working, but it would be good if F1 and Indy didn't actually clash on the same day.
To be fair, though, Alonso did do it while he was in a season racing for McLaren.
He did,
and he only missed Monaco.
Racing?
No, but he was at every race.
Yeah.
Racing the.
I mean, that
Well,
that was different,
yeah,
wasn't it? Because they wanted to keep him happy, so they were happy to let him
Yeah, he did-
disappear.
He did say it was exhausting doing the transatlantic commuting
Yeah,
constantly
he was-
during
No,
that
but I'm
time.
just
he
saying.
only missed one race.
Yeah, I'm just saying it is possible if they moved it so it didn't clash with Monaco. It is possible to happen,
Oh yeah, I mean,
and especially for a team like McLaren. I mean, the money that you could put behind that with the advertising that it does for the team, for you to say like next weekend Lando Norris is going to compete for McLaren in the Indy 500. You're talking mega column inches, aren't you?
oh yeah. I mean, it's it'll be a great marketing thing, and it wouldn't surprise me if we ended up getting more crossover between F1 sponsors and IndyCar teams. How long before Red Bull go for it? Because that's right up their street.
They're quite
I
surprised
can't
they
believe-
haven't.
I mean, they've got
Yeah.
there's Red Bull liveried cars in NASCAR.
Yeah.
And Indy, they appear to be missing out completely.
I still can't believe that Formula One doesn't have a Coca-Cola title sponsor for something. I can't believe that just the only presence advertising wise in Formula One is a small logo on a McLaren, and not even in like Coca colours, just a Coca-Cola sign written on it. I find that crazy. And even like big tech, where are they? In Formula One, when you look at Formula One being like the cutting edge of technology, both engineering and computing, like where are the big tech companies?
Well, Microsoft used to sponsor Lotus,
But even then, it wasn't like
it wasn't
Microsoft, was it?
no, Microsoft Office or Microsoft Connect or
Yeah.
something. And
Fucking
know,
Microsoft Vista.
Dell have got a mention on the McLaren cars as well.
Yeah. Well, I think Dell have got like the biggest presence, haven't they? I know. Who used to do Ferrari? There used to be another computer company that did Ferrari.
Kaspersky, I think, were they on there?
Yeah,
Yeah. But even like you would think maybe like an Apple or an even the likes of Amazon and stuff like that. It's
Google.
There's so much Google. Yeah, absolutely. There's so much money in these companies. I can't believe that they wouldn't want to be involved somewhere in like the biggest motorsport like series in the world.
Well, I mean, Amazon have already got their F1 presence with the so reliable AWS
the
data.
battle forecast and the tyre data.
That's fair.
Heck.
Yeah, that's fair. What fucking awful, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, whoever came up with the battle forecast needs taking out and battling. Oh,
As long as they do,
Rubbish.
as long as they don't go into actual military logistics, I think we're okay.
Stick to doing predictions for the Eurovision Song Contest. Talking of Indy, anybody else watch it on Sunday?
No.
I did.
No.
It was the quickest Indy ever.
There was very
No
little.
yellows?
Yeah, a couple,
There
but
was two early on, and the rest of it was just racing.
there was one
Was it good?
later, wasn't there? I can't remember who it was. It was Rahal.
Oh yes, when Rahal lost a tyre coming out the pits. Yeah, it was good. I mean, especially the last sort of 10 or 15 laps.
Yeah, it was a perfectly entertaining race. Just a bit.
At one point there was a McLaren in with a chance of winning it.
True.
Yeah, then McLaren finished fourth.
Yes.
Yes,
He got pipped
was
by
he got pipped by
Pagenaud.
Simon Prangino.
to the third place.
Yeah. Yeah, Pagenaud, who famously took Lando Norris off in the virtual race last year because he didn't want an F1 driver doing well. That ruins the chances of him ever getting an F1 test.
Well, Joseph Newgarden has said, hasn't he, that he thinks the depth of talent is just as big in Indy as it is in Formula One.
I mean,
The only thing I would
you
say
would
for that
say that.
is you see more Formula One drivers wanting to go and do Indy because they think they can win it, rather than IndyCar drivers coming over to Formula One.
yeah, I mean, Sato was the only ex-F1 driver in the top 10.
Yeah,
on
I mean,
Sunday.
Alex Palou, who's
Did Montoya finish 9th?
He may have done, actually. You may be right. But yeah, Alex Palou, who's the championship leader in his second year in
What the
Indy,
hell have I been reading
was
then?
ridiculously average in GP3. Couldn't get out of it, ended up having to go to Japan to keep his career going. So that's your championship leader for IndyCar.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that an IndyCar driver couldn't do it in Formula One. I'm sure they could, but I think a Formula One driver finds it easier going to IndyCar than an IndyCar driver would find going to Formula One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the last successful
Sato
IndyCar
wasn't even in the top 10,
Formula One driver?
Sato wasn't even in the top 10, so whatever I was reading from was complete bullshit.
To answer these questions,
who's the
Jacques
last-
Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, you're not. Nobody's counting
It was-
Bourdais as successful, are they?
Bourdais
No.
turned up and sat in the car for half a season.
Yes.
No.
So, I mean, that's a long time. That
Yeah, Villeneuve went from IndyCar straight to Formula One, was a title contender in his first year, and then won it in his second year.
I mean, don't forget Alex
gotta-
Alex Zanardi had already got 2 IndyCar championships when he came back to Formula One in that Williams.
Yeah.
And again, I wouldn't class that as successful.
No.
no, but he wasn't successful. But he struggled massively, didn't he? Like even down to the brakes, he didn't get on with F1 brakes. I believe he had to switch from carbon brakes to steel brakes to try and sort his issues out, and that didn't sort them out. And I don't even think that was necessarily Williams's issue. That was Zanardi's issue, because don't forget, Zanardi didn't leave Williams. Williams paid Zanardi off to go away.
Yeah, because they had signed him for 2 or 3 years originally, hadn't they? And
5 years.
was it 5?
5 is a long time
5 years.
in F1.
All this happens, this happens because I watched a small documentary about Alex Zanardi's time in IndyCar last week. Fortunately enough for this conversation.
That's almost preparation and research.
Almost.
It's not usually how we do things.
I'm not pulling steel brakes from the back of my mind like any normal day. But yeah, it was a shame for Zanardi though. I remember when he was coming into Formula One and the excitement around having Zanardi in Formula One. It was a big deal.
What when he came back to Williams, not the first time round when he was
No. When he came back to Williams, it was
going to be massive because look at what Jacques Villeneuve's done. Nigel Mansell went from F1, won the IndyCar Championship. Jacques Villeneuve's won it without driving the Formula One car. Montoya had done really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then, actually, Montoya would be the last successful IndyCar driver to make it to Formula One.
But I mean, successful in Formula One.
Yeah, Montoya was successful in Formula One.
Got a couple of race wins.
I think considering his level of talent and the fact that he should have been a Formula One world champion, I think his time in Formula One was unsuccessful.
Don't forget how crashy Montoya was. Montoya was quite crashy, which is why Ron Dennis lost his cool with him.
Yeah, that's fair. But I think he was.
Ron Dennis has been known to put up with things for longer than the sell-by date, but it's not often that you see him binning a driver off mid-season.
No,
For Pedro de la Rosa.
I mean, that was ridiculous. That screams of internal politics. That to me, and like he's, for want of better words, like you've got 2 fucking alpha males there, haven't you, in Montoya and Ron Dennis? I can see how that would be an issue as having a Alonso Ron Dennis combination of like from the younger Ron Dennis would cause an issue as well.
Yeah, there'd have been like 2 rutting stags.
Yeah. I mean, there's still that video, isn't there, of Montoya, where that cameraman like bumps into him, and Montoya just swings around to go and fucking batter this cameraman that accidentally walked into him. I love Montoya.
He's definitely chilled out a lot in his old age, but I think Montoya was the last successful Indy driver to make anywhere close to a go in F1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He won races. He was a championship contender. So yeah, it's not fair to say Jacques Villeneuve on a to what I just said before. It's
so in that case, don't say
Montoya.
it, baby.
I feel as well that some of Montoya's crashness was that kind of what like Marquez is going through at the moment in MotoGP, where he just didn't have the machinery to compete. Although it was worse in Formula One because you had such a dominant Ferrari, and you had somebody that I think was, people won't like this. I think at that time, Montoya was every bit as good a driver as Michael Schumacher. So if you've got someone that hasn't got anywhere near as good a car and is trying to beat somebody as good as them in a much better car, they're going to continually drive that car past its limits.
I'm just trying to find a modern comparison just to try and throw it out there to prove something you've said in the past wrong, but I can't.
No, there isn't, I don't think. The only thing I would say about Marquez in MotoGP is that's mainly down to injury as well. He's
the injury doesn't help.
Well, for most of his career, the Honda has not been great, but he has still won titles. Like if you look at Pedrosa and was his brother last year was his teammate. They've been nowhere on that bike.
Yeah.
And you look how slow that Honda is in comparison to the Ducatis.
Mm-hmm.
And
absolutely no.
And anything that Marquez gets out of that is bloody amazing. He's driving it past his limit, but his skill's that great that more often than not he doesn't crash. But Sean, it was you that said this. You guaranteed Marquez crashes during the weekend, just not during the race, because he is finding the extreme limits of what that bike can do.
Yeah, so whereas a normal racer would start off comfortable and gradually push a bit more and a bit more and a bit more until they start getting to the point of crashing, Marquez goes the opposite way, starts crashing and then goes, I'm going to have to dial it back a bit.
Much like Vettel used to do in Red Bull.
Not dissimilar when he was the crash kid.
You'd always see Vettel be a bit spinny and stuff, wouldn't you, in practice? And then he all of a sudden, he would be metronomically fast come the race.
Mm-hmm. The opposite to what we've been seeing for the last couple of years.
Yeah, hopefully that's ended. Hope so, because that felt good seeing Vettel ahead of his teammate and doing what the best he could do with the machinery he had.
Yeah, I was just happy to not hear Vettel sounding like Leonard Cohen.
Yes.
Just less poetic.
Yeah. That's probably about it for anything sort of vaguely news or our utter conjecture related. Lee, have you got a shunt?
I do. This one has been sent in to us by Jason Jackson. I didn't do this one last week, did I? No, I didn't.
No.
Jason Jackson. Jason Jackson, I think, is a strange name.
Why? Because you can say it properly.
It's a fast name, isn't it?
It could be a racer name. It could be a racer name.
Talking of racer names, I've finally seen Cars. I finally watched Cars. It's all right.
The film?
Yeah. Total rip-off of Doc Hollywood.
It's also just animated Herbie.
Yeah.
But anyway,
really, really little children.
Anyway, Jason Jackson, regular tweetist. I was chatting to him on Twitter last week.
Hello, Jason.
But he wasn't giving any shunt hints.
Good, because that would be insider trading.
It's not the spirit of things. You
an instant ban from future shunts. I was born.
Yay.
Yep.
In the year of our Lord and Saviour, me. In 1982.
I didn't know Ragnar Nathan was the same age as you. Okay.
I won the French Formula Renault title in my second season.
Right.
Okay.
Number 3. I won the 2004 Macau F3 race.
So that would probably suggest coming into Formula One round about sort of 2006, 2007, you would have thought.
Heikki Kovalainen.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's a good shout.
that's a good.
That is a good shout. Yeah.
Yeah, liking that.
Got to be a couple of years older than Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah. They
But
were
not
rookies
like-
the same year, I think. I think they both entered in 2007.
Yeah, but not like stupidly.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like stupidly. Not like Kimi Räikkönen older.
No.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
Well, yeah, I'll throw that in there.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Kovalainen.
Yeah, we'll run with that one.
Number 4. This one will just give it away because everybody knows what happened here. I played a key role in helping my country win the 2005-2006 A1 GP series.
God.
Christ.
Not Heikki
I
Kovalainen.
feel probably not Heikki Kovalainen.
No.
I will always think of A1 GP and you, Paul, because I will remember us sat in the Manx Arms watching the first race, wondering what the fuck was going on and why this was a thing.
It was very weird.
And they promised us a driver from the Isle of Man, and he's not even in the team.
No, and then awful, grim. No. Number 5.
Yep.
In 2006, I had an off-season test in Champ Car, setting the fastest time in several sessions.
Okay.
Number 6, I have competed in 4 Le Mans 24 hours with a best finish of 4th. I'd like a guess.
Not Tom Christensen.
No, he is somewhat older and better than 4th.
Yes.
Who won A1 GP? Was it Great Britain?
I can't remember.
Britain won it in the first year, but that was 04-05?
I don't know. But are we maybe thinking Alex Lloyd? Somebody here has done a Google on Isle of Man motorsport people.
Well, that's the thing. Alex Lloyd didn't actually even end up racing that season.
Yeah, but it didn't say that he did. He said he helped his team.
I don't know of Alex Lloyd having done Le Mans.
No, he did Indy Lights.
He did. Well, he did. He got 4th in the Indy 500 one year. He got a podium and then had some kind of demoted situation. But I don't know of him having done the sports cars.
No.
Did he race under a Manx flag in Indy?
UK, I think.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a Manx racing license. It's still British, I think.
It would confuse the shit out of them, wouldn't it? Let's be honest.
Oh.
Different with motorcycles.
Yes.
And rallying.
Yeah, because I think in rallying you can race under your individual nationality's flag.
How old is Mike Conway? No, he's won Le Mans, hasn't he? Ignore me.
Yeah, he has. Twice.
Yes.
Mike Conway sounds like a country singer from a Simpsons episode.
The easiest thing to do would be like who else was in that A1 GP car that wasn't Alex Lloyd?
Catherine Legg wasn't in it, but she was in the team.
Wasn't it a racer called Jason Coffin? Was he not one of the drivers?
I don't recall him.
Can't remember. So I watched the first race and gave up on it.
As did TV advertisement and all interest.
I'm trying to think. I should know. I feel like I should know this, but I don't think I've got any. I don't think Kovalainen's done Le Mans, has he?
Not that I know of. No.
I don't think we're looking at Kovalainen. I don't think Finland
No.
would have won the A1 GP and then put their driver in Formula One.
If any country was going to win A1 GP, I would have put money on Finland, though, to be fair. There's like 6 of them and 7 of them are Formula One drivers.
Yeah, I mean, Germany could have been a good shout around about then because they seem to have millions of racing drivers at that time.
Who would be German and of round about the right? Oh no,
Adrian Sutil.
Sutil would be about the right age.
Wouldn't be Heidfeld, would it?
I think he's a little bit older.
No. Heidfeld hasn't had any success.
Again, Heidfeld would have been in F1, wouldn't he, at that point, and not pissing about with stupid World Cup of Motorsport, which was bollocks.
Yeah, he was far too busy underwhelming on the grandest stage of them all.
Pretty much.
Oh, hang on. Robert Doorknobs.
Interesting.
Again, Formula One. I don't think any Formula One driver was doing a crossover with A1GP.
No, I think there has been a couple. I don't know. Was Doorknobs around in, what was it, 05, 06?
I think he was F1 at that point, wasn't he?
Yeah, I find him difficult to place a time on for some reason, but I do think he was mid-noughties.
5 seconds off pole, usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for Sutil for this one. I think that's the most sort of closest we've got.
Are you going with that,
Chris?
Meh.
I don't have anything better to offer.
Yeah, that'll do for now.
I won the 2019 Bathurst 1000, having turned my hand at V8 supercars in 2012.
Was the 2018 one the race that was red flagged for an hour because of kangaroos on the course?
Doesn't matter, he said 2019.
I thought you said 20... No. Oh, was the 2019 the one? I know there's been one recently that got held up because of wild roos.
Just admit, you just wanted to bring up the kangaroo thing, didn't
you?
Yeah,
I did. Okay.
Where is my clue? I was teammates to 2 future Formula One world champions during my time in GP2. Oh, it's only 9? He's only given us 9.
So the world champions from GP2 would be Rosberg and Hamilton, presumably.
Yeah, I think so.
He's given us 10. One's a Spaffer. He's just missed 10 out, so you do have 10.
Excellent.
So who would have been there? Ken. Yeah, you got Rosberg, Hamilton, and the bass player out of Bros.
Plus the bass player out of U2.
I feel 2019. I feel 2019. I feel 9 might be a good one for you, maybe. I was fired by Audi in 2010 for running the 2010 New York Marathon when I should have been recovering from a heavy crash in DTM.
I mean, that's hilarious.
That is, wow.
So a bit of a badass then.
Yeah.
Is it what's his face? Oh, what the fuck's his name? McLaren reserve driver forever.
Gary Paffett.
Gary Paffett.
Oh, that's a possibility because he's definitely done Le Mans.
I will remind you. I will remind you that he is British, and we decided that Britain did not win that year's A1GP championship.
Fair enough.
We're not entirely sure who did.
No, that's true.
Or why they entered.
Well, let's face it. I think kind of now you know it wasn't Britain.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for that one, Lee. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think we're going to need the Spaffer, aren't we?
Well, which would be clue 10. I can't think of one, so I'll go with my initials. They are AP, and I am French.
Harry Paffett?
He's Japanese, isn't he?
Antonio Pizzonia.
Was he French? I thought he was Italian.
Know. That sounds like an Italian name, but I'm not familiar with him.
He was a Formula One driver for a very short time.
I will.
I must have blinked and missed
another clue. Lee doesn't know how to pronounce his surname.
This doesn't rule many people out.
I was going to say. So it's
yeah. Could be like a James or a Philip,
beginning with a silent P.
Yeah.
Philip with a silent P.
Oh, James. I was going with.
Does that mean if he had a crash, it'd be for Philip Rowe?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Have we had the real Spaffer yet? That was the Spaffer on French and my initials are AP.
That was the Spaffer. That is the 10th clue.
So I do not know.
Yeah, the closest I've got is Antonio Pizzonia.
And I'm pretty sure he's not French.
It would seem odd.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it is, to be honest with you.
No, I do not know.
I think he's got us with this one.
Yeah.
Even given us his initials and the fact that he's French.
I am Alexandra Premat.
Oh, yeah, Alexandra Premat.
Oh, yeah, I've heard the name, couldn't tell you what he did.
Raced cars.
Yeah,
And,
Alexandra
in fact,
Premat rings a bell.
To be fair, Paul, I just spent the last 15 minutes telling you things he did.
I'd heard of all the achievements, but they were all done by other people.
Gary Paffett.
So I'm guessing he was Ken to Hamilton and Rosberg then. If anybody's looking him up right now.
I'm just having a look now. Yeah, Alexander Premat was with Nicolas Lapierre in the A1 GP. The Great Britain team that year was Robbie Kerr and Darren Manning. Remember them?
Talented.
No, I don't.
Was that because everybody else was too busy doing real motorsport?
You know what? There was an F1 crossover here because the Malaysia had Alex Young in their team.
Ooh.
Brazil had Nelson Piquet Jr. in their team. And Christian Fittipaldi. And do you know who Team Netherlands was?
Robert Doorknobs?
No, Team Netherlands was just one driver. It was Jos Verstappen.
No, fuck off, was it?
Is this the 2005-2006 season?
Yeah, look on the wiki. It's,
Karun Chandok did the first two races.
Jos Verstappen actually won a race in South Africa.
Australia didn't do too bad. Will Power and Ryan Briscoe, they've gone on to okay things.
Yep.
Nelson Piquet Jr., Christian Fittipaldi.
Max Papis was driving for Italy.
Hideki Noda. Wasn't he stinking up the back of the grid in F1?
His daughter is doing Danish F4 and is like the shit.
Adrian Sutil was doing German A1 GP.
And Team Lebanon had Graham Rahal.
Ah, okay.
Why?
I'm guessing his family are Lebanese?
Bought the passport.
I thought his family were professional Indianapolis.
Pretty much. Charoux, being driven by actual Charoux. Oh, and Thomas Enger, another failed F1 driver. There were quite a lot of failed F1 drivers in there. Scott Speed.
Oh.
I wish he'd start his own team called the Enger Boys.
Yeah, but he'd have to drive a bus.
The Enger buses coming.
And Matthias Lauda and Patrick Freisacker for Team Austria. There's some names in there, just not the ones you'd expect.
Most of them, considering what A1 GP was, I'd have expected most of them.
Oh, and Team Ireland with the
Ralph Furman.
Yeah, the driver that Lee called the ugliest man ever to sit in a Formula One car.
Do you know what? I'd up that and say possibly the ugliest man ever to sit in a car.
Oh, Adrian Sutil was in there for Germany with Sebastian Vettel as like the reserve.
Wow, they made a mistake there, didn't they?
They may have done.
Oh, they have got fucking buyer's remorse now.
So does anyone who got shares in A1 GP? That was a really good shunt because it got us completely.
It did.
How would you send one in?
It's very simple. Send me a PM on Instagram or Twitter, and you can find me at A Total Shunt on both of them.
And if you want to get in touch with us, you can email 3legs4wheels@gmail.com if you're old school, or get us at 3legs4wheels on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Websites, 3legs4wheels.com. Don't forget it's the number 3 and the number 4. And individually on Twitter we are...
At Sean Cowper.
At Flood21.
And at Pablo100. That's about it for this week, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
seems like it.
Hopefully Baku will give us plenty to talk about.
I would like to think so, because we've only done an hour tonight and people seem to like the longer shows, but you don't want to sit and listen to us waffle for
But if you want to have a
nothing.
longer show, don't send the Formula One to France.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's not going to be a long review show, is it?
Right, we'll see you next week if we've got something to talk about. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.